beauty lovers, how are you guys doing? And if you're just joining us here for the first time, please hit that subscribe button.
Yes, so y'all know we have a goal to reach 100,000 YouTube subscribers, so please help us get there.
As you guys know, if you've been following our channel, we've been sharing about our relationship timeline from how we met and whatnot. And the last video we shared with you was our proposal story, which I'm going to link up here.
And today we are going to be sharing how we planned our wedding, and we're also going to be dropping some hot tips on how you can plan yours too.
And we're also going to be sharing a couple of our vendors as well. Now, this video is going to be divided into two parts, and we're going to need you guys to come back to watch the second part because we're going to be sharing with you a free checklist for you to use to plan your wedding. We compiled a lot of things about how we plan ours, so we said, you know what, let's just share this with our followers. So we're going to be sharing that in the second video. Now, after watching this video, if you guys have any questions about our relationship or our wedding, make sure you drop them in the comment section.
Yes, so.
However, some of you might actually be able to ask us in person because we're having a meet and greet this summer in Calgary, Alberta, where we live. So yeah, so we're going to be leaving all the details, all the links in the description box so that we don't have to talk about that too much right now.
All right, so let's get into it.
So before we start this video, I wanted to quickly show you guys a new addition to our house. This is a canvas that has the Love Lounge established 2019 written on it. It's pretty dear to us because wherever we've stayed in life, we always called it the Love Lounge, and we got married in 2019 as well. We just wanted to show you guys.
So we got this from Tailored Canvas. They make personalized art decor. They're pretty affordable but premium, and these pieces turn your house into a home. Now, if you want to shop these, we're going to leave the link where you can get it from, and also our discount code. You know, we always plug you right in the description box, so you can head out there and shop your own personalized artwork.
Yes guys, and then one more thing, we know we're owing you our updated furnished house tour. Yes, so we're going to be sharing that with you guys pretty soon, so stay tuned. Now let's get back into the video.
So the first thing was the wedding proposal, because I think you had to agree to marry me before we could start planning the wedding, right? So
yeah.
I proposed that, I think, a year before we actually got married. And what happened was that after she said yes, we went back home, we told our families, oh, we're getting married. And I think we kind of consulted for dates with them, right? Because I mean, your parents have to pick the dates, or the dates have to be suitable for both families.
So I think you proposed to me in May, and then we agreed to get married the next June, so that we'll have ample time to prepare, right? So when we had picked the dates, because obviously that's like the first thing to think about, like when exactly you're getting married. When we had picked the dates, we now started coming up with our different spreadsheets and checklists of what to do. Now, luckily for us, we are both the last children in our families, so last born, and I guess all of our siblings at that time had gotten married, or almost all of them. I think it was just my brother left to get married. So we pretty much had the blueprint of how wedding planning goes, right? Seeing as we've been part of wedding planning so many times on both sides, right? So we knew what's up, our parents knew what's up. We literally even had like spreadsheets from our siblings that we just collected and added a few things. So I guess that was it. And I would just say that, you know, in terms of you guys, whoever is watching, make sure you actually have that checklist on what you want to tick off. It will make things more organized. Another thing I'll mention is that even if it feels like you have a whole year to plan the wedding, the year will go by really fast. So, and we knew because of the experience. So we're like, yes, everything, we started doing everything like fast immediately, right?
I mean, you don't want any delays. You need to lock down your venue, lock down your caterer, your blah blah blah. We'll get into all of that stuff, don't worry. So we're going to be breaking everything down into must-haves and nice-to-haves when planning your wedding.
Yes guys, and we would have actually loved to share with you the cost of everything that went into our wedding, but that is private to us and is actually no longer even relevant, seeing that we got married in 2019. This is 2023. Prices have changed, there's inflation, so it doesn't even make any sense at this point. But I'm going to be sharing with you some of the vendors that we use, some of the trusted vendors, so we know that you guys can also use them as well. Our wedding was actually divided into two parts. We did the traditional wedding and the white wedding on 2 different days, so we had to plan for both. So we may not be able to cover everything that went into the wedding, but we'll try our our best. And if you feel like we missed something, or you think that we should have said something, make sure you add them in the comment section below. So let's dive right into this.
Let's get into the must-haves. Now, the first thing on the list of must-haves is the bride and the groom.
Like, duh.
You must have a partner if you want to get married. And it must be your own partner, your personal partner. You must be sure that
your partner is not getting married to somebody else the next week.
Exactly. It should be your own. That's the first thing to have. You need a partner that you've agreed to marry. Okay. Number one. Number two, you're going to need wedding rings. I know some people don't even use wedding rings again,
I think Gen Z, they're not using wedding ring again.
What they use now, they just use a necklace.
Something.
Or matching tattoos.
I'm sure you just need something to symbolize your wedding, right?
And if you're proposing as a guy, you already bought a ring, right? But you need to get a ring for yourself as well.
The next thing I would say is the legal ramifications or implications of you getting married. So you need to sort all those things out. I think some people actually go to the courts to do their wedding there. In our case, we just had to get a marriage license from the registry and then go to the church to get married. I think.
Because our church is an Anglican church, so they are allowed to present the marriage certificate to you, right? But you just need to bring something from the
And I think we also did mandatory counseling at the local government, where we heard so much weird gist about marriage, but that's really
where they asked us if we were siblings.
They asked us if we were siblings. Oh my god, yes. I think we can just give them that gist now. So I think when we went for our counseling, this woman asked us several times, so where are you guys from? Where are you both from? We're like, we're from different states, bro. we know our parents. We grew up together. And she was like, no, you guys need to go and check. You guys
we should go back.
She almost did not want to give us this thing. But then we did the marriage counseling, and then we got our license and we're ready to go get married. So make sure you guys get all those things done, because your marriage is not valid if you don't have that certificate, right? Next on this list is your outfit, because you're going to actually wear something when you're getting married.
Gotta look good.
You gotta look good. It's a must-have. So from a guy's perspective, from a groom's perspective, what do you need?
Why are we starting with the groom?
Yes.
That was ladies first.
No. See, now we had like both the trad wedding and the white wedding.
So from a guy's perspective, I think the first thing you need is like good grooming. Like you need a fire haircut.
The groom needs good grooming.
You need good grooming. You need a dope ass haircut, the best haircut of your life. Go to your best barber that you've ever had your haircut from. Do a nice haircut like a day or a day and a half before your wedding. Then I feel like if you have beards, I don't have beards, so there's nothing to shave, right? Then you need to be taking care of your skin like way ahead of the wedding so that you look fresh, you understand? Skincare.
And
then in terms of the look, you need a suit. You need a mad ass suit if you're going to wear a suit. You need the shirts that you're going to wear. You need new underwear, brand new underwear, so that when your wife is opening everything is brand new, you understand? Then you also need socks. You need, if you're getting a tie, you need to get like your matching tie to match your style. You need a pocket chief. You need cufflinks. You might want to have like a pin.
What about your trad look? Your
for trad, you need confirmed trad. Like if it's traditional wedding you're doing, you need ashoke sewn into agbada. Then you need a special groom's cap. You can check my own out. I had like some mad designs for
I hope we don't sound outdated though, because this is what we did.
Then also you need beads, like we had beads for the traditional. Oh, you need new pairs of shoes for your trad and your white wedding, like new pairs of shoes.
Guys, disclaimer, this is for a big Lagos wedding, no, because that's how we did ours. Don't come for us.
Even for this is for medium to big wedding.
Medium to big.
If it's medium, if you are not doing it in your parlor, then consider some of these things. Then what else? Am I missing anything? Perfume. You need that when your wife sees you stepping out of the chariot for the first time, she's like, she's like, this is my
I should have actually gone first. Like, all of this, I don't have it too.
She was like, you just smell nice.
Okay, well, I would say from a woman's perspective, you have to have your look and your beauty on check as well. He's talking about new things. You need new weave. Yes.
What's the other one you have is just...
No. You have everything new, everything good, everything fresh. Like the same thing he said, you need new shoes, new everything. For me, I had like different, I think I had 4 looks. I had 2 looks for the trad, 2 looks for the white wedding. So I had my wedding gown. You should, I think for women also, I think you should also start working on your wedding gown like ASAP, because that's like the mainest dress, right? So anything can happen. You might have some issues. Maybe if you're shipping it from like the UK or wherever, like it might hang on the ship. So you literally have to start working on your wedding gown like ASAP. If you know you want to lose weight or whatever, or look good or take care of your skin, start doing that like ASAP. So you also need to get your nails did, because when that man is wearing that ring on your hand, let his eyes be blinding. Then you have to get your makeup artist on check. Don't just go for any makeup artist. If you've even worked with somebody before and you know they did a good job, just ask them to come and do your makeup for your wedding. You need someone to tie your gele, you know, like I did for my engagement. You need your jewelry put together, like your beads too for your trad, and then your nice soft jewelry for your white wedding. What else do you need? I think
oh, sorry. I wanted to say when you said nails, I remember I did manicure.
Well, you did manicure, yeah.
And if you are very like me, you do what they call it, teeth cleaning and polishing. I did that one too.
But yeah, you guys know the deal that goes into, you know, your outfits and all. But make sure you, at least all the makeup artists, the hair, the gele, everybody, like make sure you book everybody down. Pay them their money if you can, so that they will show up on that day. But always have a backup plan. Maybe have a friend that you know that can do makeup, or you go and have to do makeup yourself, so that if anybody F's you up or doesn't show up that day, you'll be able to take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Yeah.
Okay? Okay. And for all those rubbish that I said about boxers and whatnot, we're going to get into that later, ladies.
Brand new.
Yes.
So next is the venue. Now we have everything. You have the bridegroom, their clothes. You need an actual venue where the wedding is going to take place. And for us, we had our engagement venue, we had our wedding reception venue, and we also had our church, because we had a church wedding. So you need to think about that. Like if your venue is going to be in the mosque, if it's just an event center, if it's in your parlor, if it's a destination wedding, if it's in a garden or on the beach, you need to book that venue ahead. And you need to get everyone involved in that wedding. Because for us, for instance, now for church, we had to notify the pastors. We had to say, okay, this is the pastor that wants to minister. Are they going to be available? And all the officiating ministers and all of that. Yes. And also for your venue, you need some decor. Now, we put this under must-haves. It may not necessarily be a must-have for everyone, but we feel like at least where you're getting married needs to look good, needs to look nice. So you need someone to do your decor for you, so that when you look back on that day, you'll be like, ooh. You'll be like, So I think for our wedding decor, we had Colony Events do our decor for us. And because she actually did for, I think, my siblings as well. I think she did my sister, my brother. So we're like, might as well just come with your skills and just do it for mine. And you had that that castle stage. That castle stage, because I had some visions for it, and she came through for me. So she's definitely one of the vendors that I loved working with, and I hope we could work with her sometime in the future for something, right? So, and now you've locked your venue or your venues. What you now need on top of that is someone to coordinate all of this or to officiate. So it could be your priest, your shaman, your MC. It could even be your friend. Your MC is not officiating. Wait. Your priest will officiate your wedding, but I mean, you coordinate. You can coordinate. What if it's not a Christian wedding now? Okay. It might just be vibes, event center, and it's the MC that is in charge. If it's my parlor, I already know which of my friends would be the MC. You understand? They will officiate it. Or you might just get someone online that is registered to marry people. Not in Nigeria. But you get the point. So you need whoever is going to be in charge of that event, or whoever is going to be joining you together. You need to book them, lock them down for that event. And also for the engagement, you might need something called an alaga. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but Yoruba weddings always have the alaga. That's that one annoying person that is always collecting money from the group. She's not annoying. No, that's the role, not the person, it's the role. So the next thing you need to think about and plan for is food and refreshments. First question is, are you going to be giving food and refreshments at your wedding? Most people do, but not everybody does. Some people even pay like package per head. Have you heard of those kind of weddings? I think so. That everybody bring your $50. I think that one is mostly abroad weddings. But like Nigerians, we don't do that. Like if you are gathering everybody for a celebration of your life, then, or like a milestone in your life. Celebration of life, okay? No. Okay. A celebration of a milestone in your life, then you better take care of everyone's food, right? Yeah. And okay, so are you saying this is a must-have or a nice-to-have? No, it's a must-have. It's definitely a must-have, at least for us and for our culture, I would say, because like I literally just said, like I don't know how I can bring people somewhere to celebrate me and not even want to take care of their kitchen. They literally drove or took some sort of transport to come celebrate me. So the least
least I can do for them is to get them food. But then you don't have to break the bank though.
Yeah, you don't have to break the bank. To be honest, I've heard about weddings where it was only cabin biscuit and Fanta that was said, and that's okay. Like if I invite you as my friend to my wedding and it's cabin biscuit and soft drink that I can provide for you, you better be grateful for that refreshment.
But that's also why when we now go to weddings, we can now come with like our drinks, or even have a caterer.
Or you eat before you come.
Or you eat before you come. Yeah, there was a time when in Lagos we go for weddings. We'll eat before we go out. Because I'm not expecting anybody. I'm just going
for the after party. I have my drinks in my boots.
Yeah. So moving on from that, another thing that we think is a must-have is your videography and your photography, because you are always going to look back at everything that you did, about how your wedding went. We have our albums there somewhere. So we definitely need your photography and your videography. Now, if you're lucky enough to get the same person to do both, make sure you negotiate well, even negotiate for your album and also the entire coverage, video coverage of your events. I think we were able to get snippets to post on our social media channels, like a 1-minute video,
like a trailer,
and we got the entire wedding captured on video, and then we also got the entire wedding captured on photo as well. So I think for us, the vendors that we use Trip City Visuals. Larry Ayorinde, he took our pictures for us. Shout out to him. He's our friend. And honestly, like, another thing I wanted to mention is that you guys, like, you also need to get someone that you know you're comfortable around. So he's our friend, right? And he took all these pictures and he was whining us, making us laugh. He took our pre-wedding pictures as well. And they all came out well. He made us feel comfortable in front of the camera and whatnot. And then for our video, we used Joseph Ntekume Visuals as well. I think he's pretty good at what he does. And he covered everything. We have all the entire footage. Nothing was lost. He even used drone. Like, so like
nobody was even late.
Like, and nobody was late. Like our vendors actually came through for us. We didn't really have that many issues with our vendors. So those 2 years, they came through for us in terms of covering. And we have this footage that we keep using even as B-roll over these our videos from time to time, right? Okay,
so let's talk about the music. If you know us, you know we love music.
We love to jay, we love to dance.
And what's a good party without music, right?
So what's a good eco party without music?
So for our wedding, we knew we were gonna have DJs. So we had 2 DJs actually, and definitely with every Nigerian wedding there is going to be a live band. Like,
oh my God, thinking about it, you know the guy that sang La La Le Friday.
Oh yeah,
he was the one that did our wedding. It was live band. I
remember that.
Those are some good times.
Good times. Yeah. And for the main wedding, we had Ishegun Johnson.
You guys.
But it's paining me because then Ishegun hadn't started doing
No, but he was still fire. He was fire. He's always been fire.
Are you ready, Shay? Are you ready? See, when I say dance like this, move your body, everybody now. Dance like this, okay? Move your body, come on right now. Dance like this, okay? Everyone is shooting. How they going? How they
He always had that ginger, like he'll make you. I'm a very shy groom, right? So I was shy and I don't know how to dance, but he was bringing it out to me like, Shay. By the time they hype you, you don't know when you're dancing. So we had that. We had the live band, then we had 2 DJs, one for the engagement and 2 for the wedding, one for the main wedding and one for the after party. I think it was DJ Yogsy and DJ Jaju.
Anyways, that's just talking on a larger scale, but if you're doing like a smaller wedding or something like in your parlor that you don't want to spend that much money, you literally have your speaker, your aux cord,
and your Spotify
account or your Apple Music account, anyone. Yes. So no shame to that game.
Yeah, it's going to be a party. Yes, or you call me, I'll DJ for you.
Exactly. Or you can just find your local DJ in your area that can do it for you. But anyway, so moving on from the music, the next thing will be your invitation cards and also your wedding programs, because how else are you going to invite people to your wedding, right?
Word of mouth.
But there's word of mouth, but at least if you even don't want to print out a physical invitation card, you can actually use a virtual one. You can easily design one on Canva.
Or WhatsApp text, copy and paste.
Or WhatsApp text, copy and paste. You know how our parents do it now. And I think for our invitation card and our programs, because we actually printed both with the same people. So campaign services did ours. And then, yeah, it made sense to print both with them so that we could negotiate and get a good deal. So yeah, to the wedding program, you need to actually have something, your order of events. And yes, your order of events is also something important that you need to work on. Because I think, like you said, we are from an Anglican church, so they also have their template that they use. You just fill in your own things. You also choose the hymns that you want them to sing at your wedding. I think I chose the hymns that I wanted for our wedding. I do love me some hymns.
You didn't choose Cardi B.
I know, not working at our wedding, yes. And then also even for the reception, something for your MC to follow along. And also I guess they also print those little things for people, print their reception
reception agenda.
Well. Agenda,
I was even going to say even the order of photography, right?
Yes,
because those photographs take a lot of time.
Yeah. So you need to consider all of that and have them printed or have them drafted at least, because there's always going to be menu? There's always going to be corrections. Now, the person that printed the one for our engagement, I think the menu or something for our engagement. You know, they printed Shay instead of Shay.
On the menu.
Or Shay something that wasn't your name.
Oh, yes! That was from the event.
From the event planner
or the event center or whatever. Yeah. I remember that one. Yes. So you married Shay?
I'm not married Shay. I married Shay. Anyways, so back to that. You also have
wait. How did you see the menu? Did you eat?
No, but I think I saw it.
Because there was no menu on my Maybe we saw it. I think someone showed us.
Or someone I don't know. Anyway, so the reason why you need to start working on those things ASAP is because there's always going to be errors. We had revisions, even typos, everything. I don't know how that person, whoever covered that in our engagement, just did it. Because clearly that thing didn't come to us. They just did it because we would have caught it immediately. I'm like, bro, I'm not married.
Maybe about your boyfriend that is Shane.
Can we move on to the next thing? So the next thing would be your bride price and eriyawo.
What do you know about that?
Honestly, I don't know.
Did you pack eriyawo?
I came
or did you pay bride price?
I think when we got married, like I collected some lace, we collected some food, some yams.
You paid some yams.
But I have to give a shout out to our parents. I think they handled all of that. We didn't know nothing about that.
So for eriyawo, that's like for Yoruba traditional weddings, right? So the groom's family is meant to package a lot of things. The bride's family usually has a list.
It's like a bride price thing, right?
Then they have a list of 500 yams. 200 cartons of malt, cola nut, the green or the brown type, cola nut, the green one. Very, very annoying. Some people have PS5 on their own list, but there's no PS5. You got now. So the groom's family always has to package all those items, usually food items and clothing items.
There's also a letter involved.
And a letter, there was a letter. Then there's a box involved where the fine laces and fine jewelry or whatever go into. I remember our box was Air Canada box. So it's like there was a prophecy that we're going. So I remember I was getting all those things together, buying all those things, packaging them. They have to be nicely wrapped, packaged like nice gifts. Then they are presented to the bride's family on the wedding day. Then there's a bride price, which is not exactly like it's not like I'm buying things, you know. What's your bride price?
Well,
but it's just like a token based on culture, so they will just tell you amount. It's not usually like a crazy amount. But you just put it in an envelope and you give it to the family of the bride, and the letter,
that I mentioned to is something that they read at the traditional wedding.
We had Priscilla read our letter.
Something about how how
there
one
was
marry is marrying one family is marrying one family.
Can you remember that letter that we presented to you guys was this huge thing with our old photos, like throwbacks.
This guy went to go and look for all my old photos. Like, I don't even know.
So that you'll not be thinking is that wedding finance that we saw.
That's not
what we saw. It's
my secondary school picture. Where I look like
personalities inside. We saw inside, not outside.
All right. So I think the last thing on our must-haves list, which we actually argued about, is cake. Guys, is cake a must-have or a nice-to-have?
Cake is a nice-to-have. Why?
What will
Did you eat cake on your wedding?
didn't we do cutting of the cake? If you don't have cake, how will you do cutting of the cake?
You don't do it, you even save time.
Save time, save money.
Then you not do cake that they must not do bride and groom effigy on top of the cake like this.
You print your head. I don't know.
I don't feel like cake is. What are people that don't believe in cake or they don't eat carbs in their house?
Okay, it's not everybody that believes in cake.
What if I'm having a 5-person wedding? There won't be any need for cake now.
But you can get something nice now.
No, something nice is not cake. 5-person wedding
nice,
can
like
be
cake, like small
can be
size
an all expense paid trip to the Bahamas.
Okay, guys, so successfully we have moved cake from must-have list to the nice to have. All right. Yay. So now moving on to the nice to have. Are we ready to get into that?
Yes. Let's get into nice to have.